everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You're watching Teresa and this is Chats with T.
Don't be shy to say you for.
First of all, let's talk about other people's criticism of this show. So people some people on Twitter, some conservative Nigerians, like, there was nudity and they didn't like the nudity. So there was a shower fight scene with Timei and some other person in the rehab, and there was nudity there because they were in shower, and people were like, it was not necessary. When I think about it, it wasn't necessary, but it was bloody epic. It was amazing. It was nice. I replayed that scene. It was like nothing sexual. I replayed that scene a lot. I was just like, it was reminding me of secondary school, a Lady of Fatima College, Town A or whatever. I've forgotten the names of her bathrooms. And you know, everybody's just basing, and somebody, some people are fighting, people have fought, and you're just watching the show, trying to bait before they ring bells so that you can go and dress and go to mass, but people are fighting. It was perfect. Everything, the fight to be something nonsensical. Oh, you want to splash me? Oh, can't you see your front? Oh, why are you washing when people are baiting? You not pour your washing water on my leg after I finish baiting. That kind of fight, And all of a sudden they're fighting, and it was amazing to watch. So then the name of the assassin is called Blade, and as I told you, Abaya defeated Leather Jacket. And then people, the Twitter, we are saying that that he was not a good assassin. A good assassin would have blended, into the people. Maybe one Abada too. A good assassin would have not been staring the victim dead in the eye and be acting suspicious and be chasing the victim. A good assassin would have waited for the perfect time and kill them successfully, because he had cutlass, hoe, rake, salesa, gun, AK-47. He had all of them. He came with a big bag. Nigerians or fellow Nollywood watchers, sometimes the point of some characters is that they are bad at what they do, like real life. It was part of the script that the assassin is a bad one. He was bad at his job. Femi is an idiot. He does not have balls. He just jealous of his brother, and he just went to the corner of the street and carried one abero and said, come and kill my brother. So the abero does not know what they are doing. They just went to go and buy Leather Jacket and see, yes, we have come. That is why. And then another rubbish criticism that I saw was the relationship between Kola and Udwak. So Kola and his mom, the kissing on the lips. I'm like, did you watch the same thing? They were trying to portray a weird relationship between mother and son. In his apartment, in Kola's apartment, this boy had a full-on painting, big landscape of his mother hanging. You know how you have, a painting of yourself and your wife, a painting of just you or you and your mother, and you hang it in your house as per like, I'm decorating my house with pictures. No, this one, it was just the mother, big like this, on his man's stone, big, just your mother, very detailed. And it was like, clearly there was something wrong here. Clearly there was, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was sexual, like if it was incest, but there was like clearly something wrong in that relationship. So it's all part of the script. Enjoy. Things don't have to be morally good in a movie. Everybody doesn't have to be perfect, but I also have my own criticism. And in that scene, she's interacting with Akin, Kola's friend, and Akin is trying to investigate if Kola was actually abusive. So he asks her pointedly, he asks Toke, sorry, I've forgotten Toke's character's name. In my head, she was just Toke. So he was asking Toke, like, was Kola possibly abusive to you? And her demeanor changed. The acting there was good. It was like, get out of my house. Like that was basically her reaction. I don't say anything, get out. And they do that classic, they pan the camera to Toke's front. They pan the camera to Toke's front as she's opening the door, as she opens the door and is waiting like at the door, like, get out of my house. And she's very, very, as at this point, as she's standing on, her hand is on the door, her face, her demeanor, she's like unbreaking, like, I don't want to say anything, go. And as he leaves, Akin to get into his car, Toke now says, oh, you might want to go and ask Princess, another of Kola's ex. So she gave him good information. But you know what I didn't like? We don't see the struggle in Kola's expression. I say in Kola's expression, in Toke's expression, we don't see that. Should I tell him? No, I can't tell him. Like, we don't see that reaction at all. She was pretty steadfast in, oh, she was not going to, I'm not going to say anything. That was what her face was giving us. And then in split second, she's like, oh, you might want to, you know, you might want to go and talk to Princess. And I just thought, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So, two things minute. And then he goes to see Princess. We don't know anything about Princess prior to this. We don't know who Princess could possibly be. So, and you know, they don't immediately show the scene where he goes to see Princess. So, the girls are on the run, right? We're seeing parts of those scenes. Then it cuts to, oh, Femi rejoicing and Femi trying to, you know, put his eggs Femi trying to organize his eggs so that he would be the next person to rule the family, right? We also see Timei struggle, we see her in rehab, we see Udwa. So we see a lot of scenes in between, like things are cutting into each other. So as Toke introduces us to Princess, I don't know who that is. So for the next few scenes, I don't know who Princess is. So I didn't like that. I was like, let's say as they were showing the news that Kola Adebayo's body is being found, they pan to Princess. Maybe that could have happened and then I didn't watch it. Tell me. Then they pan to Princess and we see somebody. So immediately Toke would have said, oh, maybe you should talk to Princess. All our minds will go to that girl that we saw that we didn't realize why we saw her as they were highlighting Kola is dead. So somebody just watching the news, that would have been a perfect incision. Because another way that they do it perfectly now in Blood Sisters is we find out that Kola is half siblings with his brother Femi and Timei. So Udwak, his mom, was cheating with another man. So Kola is not a real Adebayo. And when we find out that Kola is a real Adebayo, things fit in place. We already know who the possible father is. Because we have seen him. He came in a scene with Udwak as she was grieving in the cemetery, I mean, whatever. She was saying her goodbyes to her husband. A man comes. And we understand that, Udwak has had an affair or has something to do with this man before. When we now hear the minister again, she calls him, Udwak Ketenshaw calls the man that we saw Mr. Minister. So when Femi is talking about business with a minister at some point in the scene, everybody's head, I'm sure as you are watching, is is it that minister that we saw with Ketenshaw, with Udwak? Is it that man? And then when it's finally revealed that Kola is not an Adebayo and Udwak, the mother, had an affair, we all know who it is. We all know it's a minister, and maybe that's why he was frustrating Femi, and like, you know, it comes to an end. So there's a string, but with Princess there was no string. She just popped up once and then that's it. They should have given her just that one extra scene so I would have known immediately. Toke says maybe she talked to Princess. So those were my like 3 criticisms. Apart from them, everything was perfect. Mr. Chicago, which is our like uncorrupt policeman, Timei, Kemi, Sarah, Kenny, the Harvester Man, every other thing I enjoyed fully. So anyways, let's rate it out of 10. I checked on IMDb and it was like a 4 out of 10 as of the time that I was doing my research for this, like to do this video. I don't know if it has changed. I hope it has changed because I want to give this an 8 out of 10. I don't know why I'm being stingy. Low-key a 9 out of 10, but just room for improvement. You know, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was perfect. But let's give this series Blood Sisters on Netflix, available on Netflix, an 8 out of 10. Thank you guys for listening to my ramblings and my discussion and my spoilers about Blood Sisters, which is on Netflix. Go and watch it. Go and check it out. Thank you for listening to me. You are watching Teresa on ChatsWithT.
Don't be shy, they say you for. Now we the wrong.